You've seen it everywhere. It's the heart of the new Supra, it's in all of BMW's fastest daily drivers, and yeah, people are calling it the modern-day 2JZ. Today, we are diving into the engine that's taking the car world by storm, the BMW B58.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? Has BMW, a company that, let's be honest, has had a reputation for some, let's say, complex engines in the past, actually built the true successor to one of the most legendary power plants of all time? To figure that out, we've got to go back to the beginning and understand what this engine is all about. Because this isn't just another BMW inline six. Oh no, this was different. This was a statement.
See, when the B58 rolled out in 2015 to replace the old M55, it wasn't just a small refresh. BMW basically threw out the old playbook and went back to a clean sheet of paper. They designed this thing from the ground up to be strong and efficient.
And man, it made a splash right away. It became the beating heart of some of BMW's best cars, like the M340i and the Z4. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, the one name on this list that made everybody stop and pay attention, the Toyota Supra.
I mean, just pause and think about that for a second. Toyota, the company that gave us the original invincible 2JZ, decided to put a BMW engine in the new Supra. If that isn't the ultimate seal of approval, I seriously don't know what is.
So what's the secret sauce? How did BMW make an engine that can handle so much power right out of the box? Well, it all comes down to a really key design choice.
The secret is its closed-deck block. Now, what does that mean? The easiest way to think about it is like building a house with a super reinforced foundation. It just makes the whole engine block incredibly rigid and strong. It's literally built from day one to handle huge amounts of pressure and boost, the kind of forces that would grenade a lesser engine.
From the factory, this thing makes a very, very healthy 382 horsepower. And trust me, in any of the cars it comes in, that is more than enough to have a whole lot of fun. But, and this is a big but, that's just where the party gets started.
Because with just a few simple mods, we're talking a basic tune, maybe a downpipe, that number just skyrockets past 500 horsepower, no problem. And here's the part that'll really blow your mind.
It handles that huge jump in power without you ever having to open up the engine. That's right, the stock pistons, the stock rods, the crankshaft, it's all strong enough from the factory to take it. That right there, that is the B58 superpower.
And that incredible over-engineered nature is exactly why people started making the comparison to, well, the most famous over-engineered engine of them all, the legendary Toyota 2JZ.
For anyone who doesn't know, the 2JZ was famous back in the 90s for one main reason. It was practically indestructible. Tuners would throw 600, 800, even over 1,000 horsepower at it, and its beefy iron block would just take it and ask for more. It really defined a whole generation of car culture.
And today, it really feels like history is repeating itself. The B58 is the new favorite toy in the tuning world. People are pushing this engine to its absolute limits, and just like its spiritual ancestor, it just keeps on performing.
Okay, but let's be real for a minute. No engine is perfect. And to be a true legend, it's not just about power, right? It's got to be dependable. So what is the actual story with the B58's reliability? It does have a few little quirks. Some of the early ones had some issues with coolant loss, and the PCV system can act up sometimes. And, well, it's a BMW, so you got to expect that maintenance is going to be a little pricier than, say, a Toyota Corolla. But, and this is a really important point, when you compare the B58 to the BMW turbo engines that came before it, like the N54 and N55, it is a giant leap forward in reliability. It's so clear that BMW learned from their past mistakes and beefed everything up. And hey, this isn't just talk. The proof is out there in the real world. We're seeing tons of owners cruising past 100,000 kilometers, many of them with tuned cars, and they're not reporting any major problems. That kind of track record speaks for itself. So when you put all the pieces together, the smart design, the crazy power potential, and the proven reliability, you start to get a very, very clear picture of what this engine is all about. It's smooth. I mean, it's a BMW inline six, so you expect it to be silky. The power delivery is just effortless, which makes it an absolute joy for just driving around every day.
It's powerful. There's just this deep reserve of performance that's always there, ready to go the second you want it. It's a beast when you ask it to be.
And most importantly, it's reliable. It has shown that it can handle that power day in and day out, building a level of trust that its older brothers never really could. Smooth, powerful, and reliable, that's the trifecta.
And that's the real genius of it. This engine has this amazing dual personality.
It can be a perfectly happy, comfortable, and efficient engine for your boring commute, but with just a little bit of money, it transforms that same car into a legit supercar hunter.
So, let's circle back to our original question. I think the answer is obvious. The torch has been passed. Just like the 2JZ was the undisputed king of its time, the B58 has absolutely cemented its place as the engine that's defining this generation of performance.
I know it's a bold thing to say, but the evidence is just overwhelming. When you combine this much power, this much potential, and this much real-world dependability, there's just no other way to put it. The B58 isn't just a good engine, it's truly one of the greatest engines of our generation. Period.